Hey everybody, welcome to the Weekly Wisdom. I'm Dean Graziosi. If you're new to this site, congratulations for finding us. Browse around, look at some old blogs, these videos. We've been doing them every week for a lot of years now. There's amazing people at the site, people helping people. Met a lot of you new members or new to this site out in Vegas recently, so if you're here, glad to have you. Hey, before I go anywhere, I just want to say how touched I was with last week's Weekly Wisdom and how many of you wished well for my stepdad. And I see this family has truly grown to be something spectacular. So I thank each and every one of you. I'll give you a quick update. After I did that Weekly Wisdom, my stepdad took a turn for the worst. The next day after doing that, the last week's video, my mom called and his lung had collapsed. He had 103 fever and was doing horrible. So I jumped on a plane, flew down to Mexico, and you know what? It shows the power of the mind. I got down there. They were there by themselves, so I spent a couple days, got them in good spirits, hopefully the best I know how. Just a lot of positive. You know, and one thing I told them, I said, I don't make bad investments. I'm already about $100,000 into your surgery and saving you. You die now, that'd be a bad investment. We can't have that. I know that sounds horrible, but literally it made them laugh. And that was almost a week ago that I was down there for 3 or 4 days helping them. Got him out of the hospital, got him into a hotel, a really great place, easy access. Long story short, they came home last night, and he's going to be fine. So I'm not going to say that those prayers and wishes that everybody left here didn't help. So I thank you. And for those that have so many warm wishes for the people that were affected by Sandy, by the hurricane, I want to give you a quick update. So what we decided to do with the money is Staten Island in New York, so many places, New Jersey, Staten Island, got hurt so bad, and Staten Island has some really hard-hit areas where they weren't getting a lot of help. So we decided through a recommendation from one of our amazing students, we decided to give a big chunk of that money to a pastor in Staten Island that's helping out a lot of people in need. So we're going to present that to them this week. So we'll keep you updated on that. And plus, some other great suggestions from our loyal DG family. We found a couple DGers that, and if we missed you, I'm sorry, but we found a couple DGers going through really tough times. So we're going to present them with some money as well. And we'll continue to help. Anything we can do, we'll continue to do that. And this family helps support that. So I thank you. So here's what I want to talk about this week. I've said this before. I've said it live. And Jen Gray and a couple others who read this week's post picked out the saying that I've used before, that if you can cut a check for the problem, you don't have a problem. And if you've heard me say this before, well, you're going to hear it again. And if it's new to you, you know, when I first say that, if you can cut a check for that problem, you don't have a problem. Internally, it doesn't sit well with some people. You might say, well, money can't solve problems. Money doesn't buy happiness. Money can be the root of all evil. And I guess that's kind of true. But all I know is so many problems could be solved by cutting a check for them. And a prime example of that is what happened to my stepdad. We were down in Mexico, and Jen, you picked up on it, a couple others did too. I didn't go deep on it because I was sharing what was on my heart. But literally, when we rushed him to the hospital, when he fainted and collapsed and he went to the hospital, the doctor said he's bleeding so bad we can't stop it. They were giving him blood, and it was coming out internally through his colon as fast as it was going in. He did. He lost 80% of his blood. And I'm not trying to harp on that or be overly dramatic, but when they raced him in, they wouldn't start the surgery because they don't take insurance, not American insurance. They wouldn't start the surgery without me putting $50,000 on a credit card for them to go do it. That was a huge problem, and I feel blessed, overwhelmingly blessed, that I was able to give one credit card and put that on a credit card to cut a check for that problem. So I want you to think about things in life that you could cut a check for and they'd go away. Is it to cut a check for the school your kids want to go to? Cut a check to retire your parents that shouldn't be working anymore? Cut a check to put in your retirement account so you feel secure? Cut a check to pay off your old medical bills or an old credit card when you were spending like crazy, like a lot of people did, and it's not your fault, but you got there and you want to cut a check so you're not stressed every month when that's in the mailbox. Or cut a check to help people from the hurricane. Cut a check to someone in your church who's having a really tough time. When I start looking at things that way, if you could start looking at it that way, then money is something so much bigger than just wanting financial freedom. You know all the things that I say over and over, that like secure your own mess so you can help others. That's what we want. We want to be so confident, so secure, that we could cut checks to put out fires, cut checks to lower anxiety, cut checks to help people who need it. So every week, I appreciate so much this family, and DG has grown to be something bigger than I could have ever imagined. And I don't mean bigger as just the amount of people, which is thousands, but we created a heck of a family where people can come, like you, can come here and get plugged in, get wisdom, direction, confidence, and feel a part of something bigger than yourself. That's why I love this site. I'll never stop doing these videos. Thanks for all you've done. So we're helping out Sandy. Appreciate everything on my stepdad and all the prayers and thoughts. And lastly, think about that this week. I hope you did the homework last week on making sure we get rid of those regrets. Let's get rid of them now. Let's not be 80 years old, 90, 110 on your deathbed with all these regrets that you could have just squashed now. And I'm telling you one big regret. I know it's not as important as some of the other ones, but one big regret will be if you miss out on 2012, 2013 real estate market and don't jump in and get going. If you miss this window, it'll be a huge regret. But this week, I'd really love to think, what could you cut a check for that would make a problem disappear, and use that as your motivation? Thank you so much, guys. Can't wait to be back here next week. See ya.